anything that happens to you, any circumstance that you find yourself in, you can find at some level some type of positive effect out of it, but it depends on what you focus on. So I'm gonna show you how this is even possible in the first place. And the way that is through understanding a little bit more about how we feel in response to in our environment. So the idea here is understanding how, first off, we create our own reality. So we create our own reality through the thoughts that we think, through how we feel, and through the perceptions and beliefs that we have about our lives, through the image that we're constantly projecting, even at a subconscious level. Even if you don't understand or don't even agree with the fact that you create your own reality, you're still creating your own peripheral experience that you are inhabiting. And the reason I love talking about this kind of stuff, the reason that I really enjoy speaking about it, is because over the next 15 to 20 years, this is what really is going to be proven. Every day in psychology, every day in neuroscience, they're proving more and more how much power we have through our perceptions, through the experiences that we have to our environment, how our internal reality, our internal lens creates the external reality that we inhabit, the external reality that we experience. So the idea here is that it's an area of study that's constantly expanding, that's gonna really be proven over the next 15-20 years. That's why I'm so interested in it, and I love sharing my ideas with you guys. So now, understanding this, it's understanding that we create our own reality through our beliefs, through our thoughts, through how we feel. And if you accept that, if you understand that, then it becomes easier to understand how every situation has inside of it inherently just as much a positive as it does a negative. We live in a reality, in a world of duality, meaning that both points are equally valid. The negative perspective is just as valid as the positive perspective. But the idea, what I recommend and encourage you to do, is to pick the perspective that feels better. Pick the perspective that makes you more integrative to who you choose to be. So the idea is there's a positive perspective and a negative perspective. So saying one is good and one is bad is just a judgment call. It's a value. It doesn't necessarily, to me, describe what it is. Positive doesn't necessarily mean good. What I believe positive means is connective, means integrative, means it's more just connected in general with our preferred state. Whereas negative, not necessarily meaning bad, meaning more of the mechanics of it. The mechanics of something that's negative is segregative. It disconnects you from whatever situation you're having. So if you're having a negative situation of social, you don't feel like you're connecting to other people, the reason you're having that negative experience is because you're feeling disconnected from the people that you're around. So each point of value, each point of perspective is just as equally valid, but what I encourage you to do, as there's no right or wrong, is to choose the one that feels better. And normally you will find 99.9% of the time that the one that feels better is the positive one. Now, sometimes people will still choose the negative ones because they're bought into beliefs, they're bought into perspectives that they reinforce. Sometimes people identify so much with victimhoodness that at an unconscious level they're creating some type of negative situation unconsciously. But the idea is to become aware of who you are, to become aware of the fact that you literally are creating your own reality through the thoughts, through the feelings, and through your perception, through the lens that you're thinking about. So the other thing that I want to really impact upon you is the idea that every situation is neutral, that we give the meanings to the things that happen in our life. So let me give you a random word, the word Patanjali, for example. The word Patanjali, if you have no reference, you've never heard that word before, I just made it up, so you probably haven't heard it before, but the idea here is that it's completely neutral. You don't know what it means. It's the same way, in the same way though, if I were to told you that Patanjali means unlimited wealth and abundance, you then might say, oh, now I associate something positive with it. That sounds like a very nice idea. and you begin to tag a positive effect out of it, or a positive meaning to the word. But if I told you that what Patanjali means is it's some type of disease, then you would associate a negative meaning to it. So the idea is that whatever focus you put on it, whatever meaning you give the situations in your life, is going to be the meaning that you get out of it, because everything is neutral. We have the power inside of us to choose what the things in our life mean. So let me give you an example. I had a friend recently that I know that lost their job. And from one perspective, when they came to me, they were telling me how they lost their job and they thought it was a horrible thing. However, what I recommended is that you can choose to focus on the positives of losing a job. What could the positives be? The positives could be the fact that now you are not tied to somewhere that you have to be. There are the positives that now you can really choose something that's in alignment with what you prefer to be. You can choose something that you really enjoy doing versus doing something. This person was just going to this job because it was a means, it was something that paid the bills in a way, but understanding that you give the meaning to the situations that happen means that you can choose to get a positive situation out of it. Now that person is working somewhere that they love to work, doing something that they love to do. They found more of their passion of what they enjoy doing, but they never would have got there without seeing the positive in the situation that they find themselves in. So the idea here is that you can find positive literally in any situation based upon where your focus goes, because each are equally valid. The negative is just as valid as the positive, but where do you choose to put your focus? I recommend putting the focus on the positive, because the positive is more integrative. It's more in alignment with how you prefer to be, and it makes you feel connected to everyone else. So everyone would want that. Everyone wants to feel connected. Well, not everyone, but most people enjoy the feeling of feeling connected to everyone else, feeling integrated with who they describe or who they define themselves to be. So that's it today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like or subscribe below. And other than that, I will see you guys on the next video. Most of my videos going forward are going to be very much on about how to see positives in any situation, understanding how our beliefs create our external reality. And the more that we understand this, the more we take conscious control of our life towards transforming ourselves to who we prefer to be. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day, and goodbye.